So I'd like to speak just briefly about Bolivia and what is going on in the country. Bolivia is a country that has become more and more integrated with the global economy over recent decades. Um, but as compared with a lot of other countries in the region, it's really broken with plans put out by the IMF and carrying out a lot of sovereign policies that have broken with the diktat of Washington. It's worked with a lot of the Latin American left across the Western Hemisphere. And a lot of changes has happened. There's been a rise of an indigenous middle class. So a very contradictory process. There are definitely tensions within the country. But at the same time, Evo Morales, he definitely had a large popular base in the country. We know now through reports put out by, for example, by the Center for Economic Policy Research and by other researchers that he definitely won the recent election, the October general election, with a sizable mandate of around 11%. But what we've seen play out on November 10th and the days before and after was really this quick, very fast coup that occurred in the country. And the Organization of American States in D.C., which is primarily funded by Washington, D.C., they really constructed this narrative of an electoral crisis. Then these military and security actors conducted a coup, really legitimized by that narrative on November 10th. And so we saw this happen so quickly. There were over 100,000 Twitter accounts that were made to really promote this the narrative of that Morales was illegitimate and to justify the coup. And since the coup played out, there's been killings, 2 massacres, especially in Cochabamba on November 17th, and El Alto on November 19th. Supporters of the ousted government have been targeted, and they've been marching in large numbers across the country, blocking roads. Journalists critical of the coup have been arrested. Telesur, a major news outlet, have been blocked. Officials from his government the ousted government, the government of Evo Morales, have not been allowed to take their seat in the country's Senate. And so we really see an attempt now to politically cleanse Bolivia of the popular, progressive, and left-wing forces in the country. And so if you see my article on November that I published on the November 10th coup and the people that carried it out, we know that the head of the military and other people, I counted 6 in total, who had been trained at the School of the Americas, Department of Defense fort in Fort Benning, Georgia, that has this history of training a lot of Latin American military officials that have been involved in coups and been involved in massacres. I also show how the head of the police in Bolivia was working just last year with an organization in Washington, D.C. that operates closely with FBI and with ICE and other U.S. agencies. So this coup, I think, will be studied for many years in the future for how quickly they conducted it and really the hybrid nature of it, all of the different strategies coming together that was very much obviously a concerted and organized project.